Hey, greetings YouTube. Welcome to my little video here. This is kind of in celebration of having 500 plus subscribers now. Want to thank everybody for subscribing. Sorry for those of you that watch my videos if you recognize this yellowy picture. I'm back on my old camera because my other camera I can't find the power cord for, so it's just a cheapie, and I'm a broke guy, so I'm too cheap to go out and buy a new one. Anyhow, as you see, I have a new machine here. This is a 1970 Williams Bonanza. Pretty interesting machine here. This was the only machine that Williams ever made that had a background sound. And most of these that you find don't have that background sound. Many of them it was not installed on, it was an option. This one, I'm not sure if it was installed on it at some point or not, but it was missing when I got it. The unit that creates the sound, it actually used a 4-track tape player, and it ran a background sound effect. It was basically a loop, and as soon as the game would start and then when the game would stop, the 4-track would shut off. It had another sound effect, which is a gunshot and a mine explosion, and it's pretty interesting the way it created those. Those were done purely electromechanically, and I will actually show you how that was done. And that was also not working on this when I got it, so I just this weekend got that restored and had to use all new tech to do it. So it was kind of interesting, and I'm kind of excited that I was able to do it, and I want to show it to you. So, and then we'll show some gameplay on it here. So this is a 1970 Williams Bonanza. The back glass on this thing looks almost like brand new. Well, it looks brand new. It looks like the day it rolled out of the factory. Even the backside is just perfect. And inside you can see the target area, the shooting gallery. Get this up here, get the glare off. And I'll turn the lights off and show it that way as well. But let's take a look inside the back and I'll show you everything that I did on it. Okay, let me open up the back side here. Still need to put a new lock in it. And just so everyone can see what the inside of the back of a shooter looks like. Score reels up there. That's the mirror that shines down to the target area, which is down below. We'll open that up in a minute. Transformer, the fuse block, score motor, and then a just butt ton of relays. Now in this machine also is a unit over here, and this right here, let me get the light shining at it better. This is the reverb unit. This actually creates the gunshot sound and the mine sound, the mine explosion. And at the top there, underneath that little shield, is a transducer. Essentially a phonograph, like a phonograph needle. But in place of the needle, there's this spring. So when you take a shot, the transducer is powered, it sends signal down to the amplifier and obviously out to the speakers from there. What it does also is there's this piece right here, and this has a little hammer on it, you'll see, and what that does is it actually, that coil pulls in and that comes down and it strikes the spring and gives it a warble, so that you have two different sounds. One sound where it is not striking the spring, which is the mine explosion, and then one sound where the string, excuse me, where the spring is being struck. Boy, say that 10 times fast. And that sound is the gunshot sound. And so when I got it, the amplifier was blown, and the 4-track tape player that plays the background sound was missing. So let's actually go down and we'll look at the bottom of it now. I've got the key right here, and let's see. Oh, I hate these keys. Get in there. Come on. There we go. Okay. So down here is the target area. I'm actually going to pull it out because I need to change some bulbs in it, so I'll show you that here in a second. But the first thing I want to show you is what I did to replace the sound. Down below here there used to be an amplifier and a 4-track. Well, like I said, the 4-track was missing, so hang on, I'm wobbling everything around here. So what I did was I had to replace it with something new, and this lifts right out. So what I've done here is the transducer for the recoil spring up top comes down and connects to this preamp. The preamp then amplifies that signal up to something that we can amplify further and send out to the speakers. So that just goes to an amplifier here. And then there's a small power regulator there to give it all clean power. When the game starts, everything comes on and we have a gunshot sound. So it's pretty cool. You see it's mounted real horrible right now too. I've got drywall screws holding it up. So I'm not quite done. The last step actually is the background sound. I will have a little MP3 player that's going to connect, and basically the way it works is when it comes on it starts playing whatever's on it, and so you know when it goes off then the music stops. So it'll work perfect, and it will connect to the other side of the amplifier here and go out to the speakers. So give me just a minute and I'm going to pull the target area out and change the bulbs and show you what it looks like. So here's the target area, and you'll see everything is actually in reverse because of course you look at it through a mirror. And it looks pretty grungy when you look at it like this. There's a lot of mold and just funk and that I can't do anything about. I've tried to clean it and there's nothing I can do beyond if I want to make all brand new artwork for it. And I could if I want, but it doesn't show up when it's in the game, so at this stage I'm not too worried about it. But what I'm doing now is I'm actually right behind these little holes here and here, and here are little blinking bulbs, another one over here, and I'm changing those. So here's one I just took out, and this whole piece comes out very easy. You just unplug like 4 plugs and 4 or 5 plugs and then a couple wing nuts and a couple bolts, and the whole thing just slides right out. So it's very easy to get to. There's bulbs down under here. You know, this lifts up and you can get to all the bulbs in there, and they're all good though. So now I'm just trying to get in here, and sorry this video is so shaky. This is hard one-handed. Get a bulb in. There we go. So anyhow, you see what I'm doing. I'm not gonna make you sit here and watch me change 4 bulbs, but let me get these changed and I'll put it all back together. And you know, here's the whole board. This just comes right out once you unplug everything. So that's my bulbs. 1 second, we'll have this back together. Okay, so everything is all back in place, and I left the audio board out here so that I can actually show you everything coming on, and also I want to show how the spring works on the gun. So I've got my lovely assistant here waiting to help me also let you see this running. So once again, I've got a preamp and a little power module and then an amplifier, and that was needed to restore the gunshot and mine explosion sound. To restore the background sound, I still have an open channel on the amp that I will use, and I was actually going to use this, which is an Arduino Uno, but I'm having a difficult time getting a sketch written for it that will work with it, and I can't write in C or C++, so I'm at the mercy of those that can. that being the case, I actually went and found a little MP3 player like I mentioned earlier, and you know, powers up, starts playing, there you go. So that should be here in a couple days, not tomorrow but the next day. So I'm going to have her start it up, and I'll talk for a second, and then I'll let her take a few shots so you can see how the recoil spring works. Go ahead and start it. Kind of noisy, but you see the amplifiers come on, power regulator, and the preamp, and here's the rest of it working. And now we'll go up top and I'll let you see how this recoil spring works. Grab the light here. So if you watch, you'll see this thing move. Go ahead and take a shot. Keep shooting. Go ahead and play it out. Play it out. And so that is how that works. And now I'll show you some actual gameplay from the front side. Okay, so we've got everything back in place, and before I show a game, I just want to say, you know, everything in the coin door does work. There's just no coin mix in there right now, and it's been set to free play, so I don't have to worry about dropping coins. But actually I'll probably remove the free play at some point because I like dropping coins. Hidden behind this front panel here are some audio controls, basic volume levels, and then a bell, because this actually uses a bell as well, poetic, when you hit the running horses. So let's turn out some lights and play a game here. Alright, lights out so you can see it. One big difference between this machine and this shooter over here is rifle range actually uses a timer. This is not a time-based game. It is strictly based on the number of shots. And I don't even know what it's set at right now, but let me just zoom in a little bit first. So it explains everything down here. Those, when they're lit, are worth 300. The horse is worth 100. Unlit or 300, and that's the top fast horse. And it's very hard to hit. The little guys are 30 or 300 when lit. The mine is 300 when lit. Then there's a little X, and it's really weird. My buddy pointed this out. Everything is fluorescent except for that one thing. So I may get in there and paint that with some fluorescent paint so that it stands out. It's little X targets that'll light up, which are worth 200, and then of course just the running horse is worth 100. So we're gonna let Selena have a play here and show us how it works. Go for it. Okay, actually had to edit that because my dogs decided to bark in the middle of the game. So if you want to go ahead and start another game, and let's do this. Make the bell ring. There it goes. The mine should have been lighting, and I just noticed that it's really not coming on like it should. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Go ahead and play another round. Maybe it'll light up on this one. It's just a stepper. I probably need to clean it again. well, I don't know what's going on with the mine. I'll have to check it out. I have one more video to make of this, and that'll be with the background sound working, and I will make sure that the mine is lighting for that as well. But anyhow, you see it working, as you know, pretty much everything's looking good. I got a good deal on this game, like everything. I bought it in pretty much unknown conditions, so sometimes it works out for me, sometimes it doesn't. I'm still fighting with turbo for all of you that follow my videos. And now, before my dogs start barking and I have to strangle them, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you once again There they go. Well, of course, the dogs wouldn't let me finish. So let me say one last time, thank you to all of my subscribers. I now have over 500 subscribers. My videos are just a mishmash of everything. And I appreciate your support, and if you really hate this camera enough, and any of you are filthy rich, please donate me a new camera, because I hate this thing too. So enjoy, have a good day, and play some pinball. Don't let your balls rust.